But we have a lot of good things that have happened during 2023. Give you an update on those. They were made possible by these people. Carmen and Pat and Ron and I, we do what is needed to enact the policies, implement the policies that these 7 individuals create and determine. And they've had some great policies. We've had some wonderful successes as a result of those. For example, the industrial growth in 2023. This is one of the smallest companies that we've worked with in a long time, but it fit perfectly a small site that we had in Tradeport East. And it also enabled some people that had basically been involved in entrepreneurship, 2 brothers that started a company, kept growing and growing. Finally, it got to the point where they really needed their own facility to be able to do a lot of their work, e-commerce. So they're looking at 30 jobs initially, a $6 million investment, but their facility is expandable to 100,000 square feet. And with the growth they've exhibited in the past, they will probably need that 100,000 square feet. Another project was Creative Home Ideas, 70 to 100 jobs, 15 million initial investment. As you can see, they did their announcement, but they also got underway. The clearing is going on for their site, and then the building construction will follow. One of the larger projects in 2023 was Sahon Automotive Georgia, 180 jobs and an $80 million initial investment. This facility can also be expanded. I think it's about 510,000 initially, and it can go to 710,000. And of course, typically when they expand their facilities, you also see increases in employment. This is one of the more recent activities. It was a groundbreaking held just a week or so ago at Weston Furniture. They're going to create 80 to 190 jobs, basically a $26 million initial investment. And you can see the board in action on this one. 3. There they go. That was a lot of fun because we had to count to 3. But we've had quite a bit of growth in 2023 that really wasn't announced. Hugo Boss, for example, who's been here for a long time, started out with 65 employees and 165,000 square feet. They doubled that to 330. Well, this year, they also took that available building in the Midway Industrial Park, and they also leased the space in a large facility out in Tradeport East. They are now pushing their employment up to 400 from the initial 65 and $16 million in new investment. We also had a project in Tradeport West, SNF, which is the large French chemical manufacturer in Riceboro. They purchased property in Tradeport West to develop their rail yard. And the rail yard itself will create about 25 jobs, but more importantly, it will, by relocating their rail yard from Riceboro into Tradeport West, they will be able to put additional facilities in Tradeport West, in Riceboro, and have 125 jobs total as a result of this rail yard being developed. 20 million investment. Also in 2023. 2023 was a great year. This facility was completed at Tradeport East. Carmen, I don't see what's the square footage?
647,000.
647,000 square feet, a really nice sized building. It was completed, and now they have their tenant, Town and Country Living, starting out with 50 jobs and 2 affiliate companies as well in that facility with them. You've heard before about Hooker Furniture and Safavia. Safavia developed the 1.4 million square foot building in Tradeport East. Hooker Furniture had gone in along with Safavia. They this year added 3, or in 2023, added 3 additional companies. Liberty Furniture, Simply Supply, and I mentioned the Hugo Boss. This is one place they expanded. This is Pat's surprise. Coming soon, and it will be soon. This goes back just a couple of weeks, but I wanted to be sure to mention, because it was one of our best board meetings, December 28, 2023. At that one meeting, we passed, or the board passed bond resolutions, MOUs, interim lease agreements, and sales agreements. They were approved for 6 different companies, $350 million in investment, 3.2 million square feet, and 600 jobs. Future expansions of these projects could grow to 5 million square feet and 1,500 jobs. The current annual payroll for manufacturing and distribution, which is approximately $300 million per year now, will increase significantly with the development of these 6 projects. So the authority is basically well teed up for incredible new announcements, and I anticipate you'll probably see several in 2024. The numbers are here because those numbers keep growing, and Pat did show it ascending because they had been constantly ascending for a number of years with the authority. The authority is a 7-person authority board, started out owning 60 acres, and 30 acres of that was wetland. With the succession from that initial board to all the future authority boards, you've grown now to thousands of acres, some really nice facilities, and jobs increased from like 300 to over 4,100 without counting some of these new items in here. So you'll be at the 5,000, 6,000 level relatively soon. And please note there at the bottom, thanks go to Carmen and Pat for making all this possible, because it's a team effort in the authority office. None of this would have been possible without all of them working on it. So what's happening now? Dorchester Commerce Park is kicking off. They're going to have 3 spec buildings. That's a major commitment on the part of a developer. The smallest one will be 276,000 square feet, a mid-size at 594,000 square feet, and then the big elephant in the room is the 1.2 million square feet, which I am so proud to say will be adjacent to I-95, highly visible to the hundreds of thousands of people that go down I-95. That is so important because for years we've had great resources, but no one ever saw them. Now they will see them, and they are going to be gorgeous. $195 million in investment. Parking for 900 employees. The small one, furthest away from the interstate, you see on the left, and then in the middle, the mid-size, and then the large one out at I-95. And I'm proud to say work is underway on all 3 of those. The smallest one here is what you see that the panels are already up. The concrete is now poured on the mid-size one, which is in the middle. And then farthest away where you see I-95 and the traffic there, the site work is very aggressively going on now. That will be finished, the first 2 will be finished in 2024, the second one in 2025. I'm sorry, the third, the final one, the large one in 2025. So a lot of wonderful things going on there, but that's just phase 1, because Dorchester phase 2, showing they can handle 3, Dorchester phase 3, they can handle 4 new buildings. So there is tremendous potential for a lot of growth in Liberty County, and that should be happening soon. Another developer out of New York, New Bridge Properties, has a very nice site that's inside Tradeport. Well, directly adjoins Tradeport East. So I'm proud to say that things have gone great for the authority this year. Therefore, it's gone great for Liberty County. And there are new things already teed up that should be happening, and you'll hear those announcements in 2024. But a lot of things